How's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite aviation channel, and today we are here with the September 2023 update for Chicago O'Hare International Airport Terminal 5. Today's update is set between around 7:30 to 8 p.m., so quite a bit of international flights departing or on the ground during this time period. But aside from that, not much else to talk about in this little intro segment, so without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we'll get started over here on the new expansion side of Terminal 5 here at Gate M40. We've got the Southwest 737-800 in the Freedom 1 livery. This aircraft came in from Denver as Flight 2324 and will be continuing onwards to Dallas Love Field as Flight 199. Next up at M39 is the Turkish 777-300ER, came in from Istanbul as Flight 5 around 6 p.m. So just getting serviced in between flights. It's a 10 p.m. departure back to Istanbul as Flight number 6. At M37, we have the Royal Jordanian 787-8, and this aircraft is here from Amman as Flight 263, but it's an 8:30 p.m. departure back to Amman as Flight 264, so it's just getting serviced there. M35, I actually didn't plan this, but we actually flew out of M35 a few weeks ago when I went to New York for Labor Day weekend on Southwest. Flew the 737 MAX out of this gate. So didn't plan this. I actually set the airport up before I left for that trip. So pretty cool coincidence how we do have a Southwest at M35 for this update, and then we ended up arriving into M36 a few days later, so that was really cool. But this is not a MAX. I flew the MAX out of this gate. This is a 737-700 in the Canyon Blue livery. This would be Flight 212 from Austin. It'll be continuing to Nashville as Flight 291. So there are a few Canyon Blues left, actually very, very small number. I was able to see one when we arrived back into O'Hare. It was a 786 SW, so it doesn't have the splits, but it was cool to see. I didn't know, I'm not sure how many of those are left. A very small number, of course, but I was happy to once again see a Canyon Blue livery when we were arriving into Terminal 5. It was pretty cool. And next here is the Scandinavian A330-300, SAS A330-300. Came in from Copenhagen as Flight 943, headed back out to Copenhagen as Flight 944, and that is a 10 p.m. departure as well. So it's got a little bit of a while before it heads back out there. This is the route that's currently operated by the HiFly Malta A330, the wet leased one. They were supposed to have it leased until I believe it was like October 27th, and now it's, right now it's September, right? You're going to be watching this on September 13th. Apparently they ended the lease early because today, as you can see, it's back to the usual Scandinavian metal. It's been back for a while. September 7th seemed to be the last day. I don't know where this plane is now. I didn't bother checking. Okay, so yeah, it's gone now. It's back in Beja. I think that's Portugal, yeah. So it's gone. The HiFly Malta 330 is not at O'Hare anymore. So as you can see, since the past few days, it's been back to Scandinavian actual planes now. So yeah, it looks like they ended that lease literally over a month early because they were supposed to have it, like I said, till the 27th. But looks like something happened and it's back to SAS now, which is good because I don't have to keep faking it, putting this A330 in for HiFly, anymore. So it's good that these planes are back now for Copenhagen. And yeah, another random thing, you didn't ask, but when we were departing out of M35 here, the Lufthansa 748 actually pulled into this gate next to us. It was the DABYC, the exact plane that I have a model of. It arrived right next to us in this gate, which was super cool to see. And then right next to it, right at this gate, M32 was the United Her Here California livery from Reykjavik. So that was super cool to see as well. But yeah, just a random memory that I wanted to share. So at this gate, M32 is the M32 or M33. I don't know. You guys know I always mix these up. I don't know which number is here, which number is not. But whatever. American 737-800, and this aircraft came in from Cancun as Flight 215. Just getting offloaded and serviced here before it gets taxied or whatever back to Terminal 3. And here's a new model, not really new model, I've had this for a while, but haven't been able to showcase it until now. This is the Icelandair 737 MAX 9, finally got one of these. This aircraft is pulling in from Reykjavik as flight number 853, be 852 back to Reykjavik in about an hour and a half. So Icelanders 2 daily flights to O'Hare during the summer, and just during the summer, yeah, they have 2 daily flights. This one is on the MAX 9, and then 855 and 854 is on the MAX 8. That's a later flight, comes in at like 9 p.m. or something. So really happy to have this. I have seen this particular jet before, ICD. So I've seen ICC before as well in June, and then I saw this one in March. So it was pretty cool, and I wanted to get this one instead of ICC because NG actually made 4 Icelandair MAX 9s in the same release, and ICC was another one of those included. I chose this one because I think ICC has a blue tail, and my MAX 8 also has a blue tail by geminijets, so I wanted to get something different, and I also wanted to get a model that of a plane that I've seen before, so ICD with the, you know, whatever color, magenta, why did I say magenta, whatever color you want to call that, red, whatever, that one, you know, chose that one, which is pretty cool. So yep, there it is, pulling into the gate. Nice to have that. And of course this jetway will not stand up, but whatever. It's the Qatar Airways 777-300ER at gate M, what is that, M30, yeah. And this is the One World livery pushing back for its return to Doha as flight 726. So that's just pushing back, and they've actually, I covered this in the previous update last month, of course. They've been putting the Middle Eastern carriers a lot more often on this expansion side. You can see with Royal Jordanian and Qatar, they've just been putting them down here a whole lot more, which is interesting. Not too sure why, but they have. So that's why that's here, not further down. But yeah, that's Qatar going to Doha. Next up, let's get that 380 with a different angle. Alright, at gate M29 we have the British Airways A380. This is here from London Heathrow as flight 297. And be operating the return flight at 9:15 back to Heathrow as flight 296. This aircraft will be operating this flight up until November, I believe. Right now, the earlier flight 295, 294, that's of course the Air Belgium A330neo, which I was able to see as well when we were taxiing out for departure on Southwest. They're going to be here till November 15th, so they were supposed to be here only till the end of October before. But looks like they extended their lease for another 2 weeks. So Air Belgium is going to be operating the 295 and 294 flights for BA until November 15th, and then it's going to switch to the A380 on that flight from the 16th. And then this flight, 297 and 296, is going to be 777 or 787, something like that. They always change it up. It's never permanently a 777 or a 78. They'll always mix and match between the two, but the 380 will be a mainstay on 295 and 294. The reason it's here, you're probably confused because M17 all the way down there is usually the A380 gate because it has the jetway. A few months back, they actually put this plane at M29. Never found out why, but I did see that they had put it here, and so I thought it was cool and I wanted to recreate it. And it's cool. I mean, it fits here. Obviously, it was able to fit in M29 in real life. So, yeah, I wanted to try putting that, you know, replicate that in this update. So that's why that's here. M28, as you can see, is kind of useless because there's no way to. This one cannot attach to the upper deck. So M29 is just a standard, you know, wide body jetway. It doesn't have a secondary jet bridge. So I'm assuming that one day when this plane was here. Took a while for it to board, I guess, because they only have that one jetway. But anyway, moving on to M27, which is actually now in service now. When we were flying out of Terminal 5 on Southwest a few weeks back, I was able to see all of these gates are actually active now, which is really cool. M18 through 27, they're all renovated, and it seems like they're servicing airplanes now, which is super cool. It's about time. So this here, United 767-300ER. I don't know why this is here. I thought it was. Oh no, yeah. Sorry. United 767. This is here from London as flight 959. I was looking at my list and I see Milan as the first one, and I'm like, that should be a 787. I don't know why that's not here. And I forgot to put that in. It seems. Oh well. But this 767, of course, London Heathrow, because there's only 2 places that you'll see these planes coming from into Chicago. It's either London or the one flight that we have from Zurich. But there we go. Next, American 787-8, and this aircraft is here from Paris Charles de Gaulle as Flight 151, just about to commence pushback and get repositioned over to Terminal 3. Lot Polish 7879 here, and this aircraft is here from Warsaw as Flight 3, and I don't even want to guess where it's going to go back out to. I believe this is going to go to Warsaw as well as flight number 4. I think that's the year-round flight, 3 and 4, so let's just say that's what it's doing. Came from Warsaw's Flight 3, and I think that's also like a 9:25, 10 p.m. departure back to Warsaw, Flight 4. Okay. Finnair A350-900 here. I keep saying it's supposed to be a 330, but until I get that, you're just going to have to deal with it. This A350 came in from Helsinki as Flight 9. It'll be Flight 10 back to Helsinki around 10 p.m. Alright, we got an empty gate here. We got the 737-800 from American pulling in. This is coming in from San Jose del Cabo, Mexico as Flight 2636 at M18, Air Lingus, where's the lighting? Sorry. Air Lingus A330-300. This came in from Dublin as Flight 125, and I believe it's 124 back to Dublin. These flight numbers, they always get me mixed up. You guys know that. But that's here from Dublin, 125, and it's a 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. departure, 8:25, back to Dublin, whatever flight number it is. So that's their second daily flight, which will probably be ending sometime soon if it hasn't already. Aer Lingus, their 123 and 122, whatever flight, the early afternoon flight, that's their year-round. But then again, during the summer, like a bunch of European carriers, they will add a second flight, second frequency during the day. So that's what that is. So that is it for up until M18. Let's just briefly shift over to back there to get some better angles of all those planes, then we will be done. Alright, so here pushing out of gate M16 we have the Lufthansa Airbus A340-600. This had come in from Munich as Flight 434, and it's now going to be taxiing empty over to Terminal 1, where it will board for its return flight to Munich, flight number 435. So this flight is actually going to be switching to the 350 soon, either next month or November sometime. But the good news is we're not losing the A340-600. The A340-600 is actually going to be flying from Frankfurt now on the early afternoon, late afternoon, whatever it's called, 430 and 431. The flight that's currently a 747-8, it's going to be replacing the 747-8 and doing that flight. So it's weird, they're kind of shifting all the planes around. So the second daily Frankfurt flight, 432 and 433, that's currently A340-300, that is going to be changing to a 747-8, while again the current 748 flight, the 430 and 431, that's going to shift to a 340-600, and then both Munich flights are going to go to the 350-900. So still, it's good. We're not losing the 340 or the 747. We are losing the 340-300, sadly, but as long as we still have an A340, I'm happy, and especially a 600, because we don't have many of these out there at all. The 340-300, at least you have like Swiss and Edelweiss and stuff like that, but the 600 is kind of like just Lufthansa, at least when it comes to flying to the US. So at least we still have them on Frankfurt instead of Munich. So there we go. M15 Emirates 777-300ER, and this is getting serviced for its departure for Dubai's flight 236, about 8:45 p.m. departure, that one. All right, moving on to the Delta side. Here's gate M11. I did see it was an E175 at this gate and then an A320 at this gate. Neither of those planes I have, so we'll just do it with what we do have. Thank you, Delta, right here, A321. This plane is the 1492, right? To and from Salt Lake City, Utah. A220-100 next door. This is going to be operating flight number 1643 to New York LaGuardia. Pulling into whatever gate this is, 757-200 from Atlanta, of course. That is 1367 to and from Atlanta, so that's just arriving there. We have a 717 over here, and this is flight 608 to Detroit, just getting serviced here. And then finally is CRJ 900, which should be a 175, but again, don't have that. But they will be releasing it soon, geminijets, so I can't wait to finally add that in here. But this CRJ 900 is going to JFK, New York JFK's flight 3681. And that is it for this Terminal 5 update. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and comment with any feedback, subscribe if you're new, all that good stuff. Next month's update, I had some plans. I'm probably going to do an early morning update, time frame wise, because I haven't done one of those in a while. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you all once again for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm sure this update was a lot shorter than previous ones, which is good for you and for me. I don't have to spend as much time editing. But yeah, in terms of future videos, I think by the time you're watching this, I might have just released one on Biman, Bangladesh. That was a really cool video to make, so check it out if you haven't already. Trip reports should be rolling out as normal, hopefully from next week. Sorry, can't talk today. Hopefully from next week I can get the next one out. Of course, school, college, university, taking its toll on me. I'm the vice president of one of the major organizations, student organizations on campus, so that's a big commitment as well. It takes a lot of time, and on top of homework and all that stuff. But I hope you all will continue to be patient with me. I really appreciate you all. The support and everything has been amazing. Getting close to, 26,000? So hopefully we can reach that soon, and 30,000 by the end of the year is the goal. I really hope we can do it. I'm sure we can. So thank you all so much once again for tuning in. Take care, and I will catch you all next time. Goodbye.